Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is SniperFox and we're back to Yugioh 5Ds Decades Duels Plus. Well, I'll show you how to make an Elemental Hero deck. Elemental Heroes is actually one of my favorite decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because of how many fusions they can do, and the card names are just like intriguing. Like, to me, they're like, oh my god, these cards are great. So let's start off with Elemental Hero Prism. Prism's pretty neat. He looks cool, first of all. But his effect is actually pretty good for fusions, because he can take one card, pretty much. He can take any Elemental Hero card, he can substitute that card for a fusion. So pretty much, let's say you have Wild Heart and you have Prism only. You summon Prism, you activate his effect. Let's say you need Plasma Vice. You pick Sparkman, Sparkman goes to the graveyard, and now Prism turns into Sparkman, so to speak. Keeps his attack points, but just the name changes to Sparkman. So then you can use Polymerization to Wild Heart and to Prism. The only bad thing is you can't use Prism and Prism. The other card has to be correct. You cannot do Prism and Prism and then, you know, to fusion into the other one. You can't do that. The other one has to be correct. Alright, another hero, Stratos, something like that. If I'm saying this wrong, pronounce, you know, let me know in the comments. Go ahead. But yeah, it can destroy a spell or trap card depending on how many Elemental Heroes besides itself. Pretty much like, if you have a, let's say you have Stratos and you have Wild Heart out, right? You can only destroy one magic or trap card on the field. That includes your own trap cards if you want. But of course, most of the time you want to choose their trap cards. So at the most, you could probably take down 4, because Stratos counts as one card. So if you have 5 Elemental Heroes on the field, that means Stratos is one of them. You're only going to be able to pick 4. You can only activate this when it's normal or special summoned. The other effect, which is most people do, is add 1 hero monster from your hand to the deck. From your deck to your hand. Sorry, excuse me. Apologize for that. Pretty much you get any Elemental Hero card you want and just add it there. It's very good for, you know, polymerization and stuff like that, because you automatically get that card. I personally use the destroy spell and trap cards on the field because I want to destroy as many as possible. But that's just me. That's just how I play. You know, other people play differently. I'm glad you guys like how I play, because obviously you guys find it interesting that I play different and I still win, like always. Anyways, Elemental Hero Wild Heart. Another one of my favorite cards, just because no trap cards affect him. No matter what trap card it is, he'll just go through it, you know. He'll just bust right in and attack. He's a pretty good card. Good polymerization too. Here's a couple cards you can use polymerization to it. We'll get into polymerization later. Elemental Hero Woodsman. This is a very good card to place face down in defense position on your first turn. Just because the enemy will most likely attack with 1900 or lower. Once he attacks with that, you get Woodsman face up on the field. On the next turn, during your standby phase, you get 1 polymerization. You get polymerization easily from your deck. And if you're playing heroes, chances are when you draw that polymerization on your first turn, you could probably polymerization something and have some super monster out on the start. Alright, King of the Swamp. Obviously, you can throw this card to the graveyard and you can get polymerization. Very good. If not, you can actually substitute this card for another card. So basically, if you want, let's see, an Elemental Hero, I don't know, let's say Thunder Giant, right? You want to do Thunder Giant. You do King of Swamp and then, you know, do Clayman. I know some people are going to be like, why would you want Thunder Giant when you can have Absolute Zero? Shh. I'm trying to make this, you know, example here. Alright? No backsass to me. Alright, but yeah, that's my example. Alright, so pretty much this card's good for fusions and you can get polymerization, so it's a win-win. It's a win-win. We'll talk more though later with that card. Alright, Clayman, good card. It's good for defense. Attack, not that much. I use it pretty much just for Thunder Giant. Sometimes Elemental Hero guy as well, but mostly Thunder Giant. Sparkman, you definitely need Sparkman. Sparkman's used in a buttload of fusions. You need Sparkman. I don't know why you would not have Sparkman if you're running Elemental Hero. He's very much needed. Blade Edge, he's one of the cards that may or may not be needed. I have Blade Edge for Plasma Vice, and I have Blade Edge for Wild Edge. Mainly because their effects. Blade Edge is also the effect is pretty good because you can, you know, sacrifice monsters and you can attack opponents' monsters in defense position and deal life points damage to them. He also works with Elemental Hero Necro Shade, which I actually don't have in this deck. Oh wait, no, he doesn't work with Necro Shade. Sorry. My bad. Discard that. Never mind. I was thinking about Elemental Hero Neos, because Necro Shade works only if you I think it's normal monster. I don't think it works with Blade Edge. If it does work with Blade Edge, then I guess I was correct in the first time. I don't think it does. I think it's only normal monsters and not effect monsters, so Blade Edge doesn't count. But if it does, let me know in the comments, because I haven't used Necro Shade in a while. Anyways, next card is Elemental Hero Heat. Elemental Hero Heat, another one of my favorites, just because you have so many Elemental Hero cards on the field, and you can just pretty much, power up Elemental Heat. Elemental Heat does gain 200 points just for himself being on the field, so just himself is 1,800 attack points. It's not 1,600. It's not 1,600, it's 1,800. Make sure you guys get that correctly. Alright, Elemental Hero Ocean. I hardly use its effect. Once per turn during your stamina phase, you can target one hero monster you control or in your graveyard, return that target to your hand. Once in a while I will use it, but it's very rare. That's why I only have one Elemental Hero Ocean. I mostly use them for polymerization, just usually for polymerization, but that's about it. I mean, Ocean, it's, definitely not one of my favorite Elemental Heroes, but he still made it in, so there's that. Alright, let's talk about the Hex Sealed Fusions. So we got Dark Fusion, we got Earth Fusion, and we got Light Fusion. I just have all of them just to show you that there's more substitutions for the fusions. So you can go ahead and grab any of these if you want. Which one would you say I would suggest? I would suggest Rock over any of these right here. Reason why is Rock, because you can actually use this to make Gaia. You can actually make Gaia with this. You don't have to have, let's say you have an Ultimate Hero with, let's say, Sparkman, and you have a Hex Field Earth. You need one Elemental Hero and one Earth monster. This can count as an Elemental Hero, or it can count as a Rock monster. Pretty much. So it's pretty much a win-win. So the Earth Hex Sealed Fusion, definitely the card you should go for. Not these two. Not these two. That's my opinion. So Hex Sealed Fusion Earth, very, very good card. Next off, Fusion Recovery. Obviously, once you have polymerization, you actually get one card from your graveyard and one polymerization from your graveyard. Of course, once you use Fusion. I usually use Fusion Recovery just because a lot of people are using stuff like Mirror Force and stuff to destroy cards quickly. This is a good way to recover quickly and make a comeback with Future Recovery. That's one of my comeback mechanics for there. Alright, Heavy Storm. Obviously self-explanatory. Destroy all monsters, all spell and trap monsters. Excuse me, spell and trap, not monsters. Self-explanatory. Miracle Fusion! My favorite, Miracle Fusion. Alright, pretty much you can grab 2 cards from your graveyard. This actually does work with Prism. So if you want to do, is you can pretty much throw a card into the graveyard, whatever you want. And then you can pretty much, let's say you have I don't know, Wild Edge in the graveyard. You have Wild Edge. And you kind of need Sparkman in the graveyard too. You can activate Prism's effect, and boom, you can get, Sparkman in there, and you can use Miracle Fusion, get your Elemental Hero you want, and there you go. Miracle Fusion's a good comeback mechanic too, because you can actually chain that with polymerization. Polymerization, send to the graveyard, then Miracle Fusion. You have 2 awesome, powerful monsters out on the field on the first turn. Very good, but again, it's risky, because then you'll be losing all your tough monsters already. Because they go there to remove from play after Miracle Fusion happens, and you don't get too many. There is one Elemental Hero, I think Elemental Hero Vortex or something like that. I don't know, he's an electric monster. He can actually get cards back from the remove from play, so if you want to add him, he works, but I don't have him because he has only 1,000 attack and I think 1,500 defense. Something like that. He's really hard to use, so I personally don't use him. Monster Reborn. Self-explanatory, a good card. Overall, good card, so you're gonna probably use it. Mystical Stasis Typhoon, again, a good card. Annoying sometimes because, you gotta say no, 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 no. Polymerization, you need it for Elemental Hero. It's needed. It is needed. Get it. My favorite. Righteous Justice! Alright. Destroy spell and trap cards equal to the number of Elemental Heroes you control. So let's say you control 2 elemental heroes, 2 magic and trap cards can be discarded. If you just want to discard one, you just press the 1 and then press B right after. Don't check the second one, because sometimes this card could actually, you can actually cancel it. Because some of the cards that you actually play on this game, you have to destroy 2 magic and trap cards or something like that. It tells you you have to destroy 2. This card, you can destroy 1 and then that's it. Even if you have 5 elemental heroes on the field, you activate Righteous Justice and you have a bunch of magic and trap cards on your side of the field, you could just pick the 1 magic and trap card on their side of the field, destroy it, and just press B, and that's it. And that's it. Skyscraper, it's a good, I only have 1 of it. It's not that great because of most of the time once you polymerization, you have a strong ass monster and you usually don't need Skyscraper to help you beat him. Usually you don't. Hero Signal, I have 1 just in case to have an elemental hero come in as backup. Just in case if I need a level 4 monster like a Sparkman or something. I need a Sparkman and I just, you know, throw him out there. So I can, you know, fusion him. Miracle Fusion or Polymerization, one of those two. Just a backup. Mirror Force, self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain that. Turtle Tribute, again, I don't think I need to explain that. You know, these are just, you know, cards you should have. Or it's up to you, you know. It's up to you. I usually have them because they're really good. Alright, now let's start off with number 1. Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. This is one of my favorite cards just because he's so annoying to get rid of. Once you get rid of him though, he destroys every monster in your opponent's side of the field. So let's say they have a 5-headed dragon. You attack that 5-headed dragon with Absolute Zero, bam, everything on their side of the field is dead. So Absolute Zero is very good. Even if they use something to get rid of him, he's gonna come back with a vengeance and kill everything on their side of the field. Very good card. Elemental Hero Flame Wingman is one of the cards that I should not have in this deck. I was actually testing to see if Prism can actually work with Flame Wingman, so I can get Shining Flare Wingman pretty fast. But no, Prism does not actually work with Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. I actually tried. I tried to see if I could, you know, put Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, and it did not work. It did not work, so this card should actually be removed from my deck. But I still have it, I just haven't, you know, had the time to remove it. So this card, non-void, because I don't have Avian. I don't have Avian or Bracinatrix. Other cards I just don't have, you know. Alright, Elemental Hero Gaia. Gaia's a pretty good comeback card, just because you can half the attack of the monster that's out on field. Like, let's say 5-headed dragon, half the attack of that. And then you gain that half attack too. So pretty much you can attack 5-headed dragon. You won't kill it because it's an earth monster. You know, since 5-headed dragon doesn't die from earth monsters, but at least you'll be able to do some life points damage. You'll be at least be able to do life points damage. Alright, Plasma Vice. Another one of my favorites, just because you can discard 1 card from your hand to destroy whatever you want. You can destroy whatever the fuck you want. And he also deals extra damage to, well, he deals damage, life points damage to anything in defense position, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. This is by far my favorite. This is by far my favorite. Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. I gotten him so strong that I beat a 5-headed dragon before, and his effect is so good, it's just like, oh man. Whatever you kill, pretty much, you deal its attack points. So let's say you kill, I don't know, let's a 5-headed dragon, right? Let's say you did kill a 5-headed dragon, just like I did. Bam! 5,000 attack points and life points damage. Man, this card just, you know, gets so much. Literally, for throwing elemental heroes down in the graveyard, you get so strong. Like, it is unrealistic, pretty much, how strong it can get sometimes. Alright, Elemental Hero Terra Firma. I believe I said it correctly, hopefully not. Elemental Hero Ocean and Woodsman. I only have 1 Ocean, so that means I will need substitutions most likely. You can trigger well faced up Elemental Hero monster. This card gains attack equal to the triggered monster attack until the end phase. It's okay. I mean, it's only used for if you need to kill something with higher attack. Then Terra Firma will be okay. Otherwise, skip them. I mean, Absolute Zero usually gets the job done. Absolute Zero usually gets the job done, but you know, I only have 2 of him. Alright, Thunder Giant. Everyone should know this if you watch the show you know, if you guys watch the show, everyone should know his effect. Pretty much, if there's anything with 2,400 or less, you can discard one card from your hand and it gets destroyed automatically. Gets destroyed automatically. Thunder Giant's effect is pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good card. Easy to get out. But usually you want your Sparkman to do something else. But your Clayman usually is this is his main summon most of the time. Sparkman, you can use him for so many other things, so you don't necessarily need to do this. Wild Edge. I like Wild Edge because he can attack every one of your opponent's monsters once. I actually had a guy before have 5 monsters out, and I had Wild Edge destroy each and every one of them. I remember, I'm not sure if the guy I was with, he was a viewer, but I was not recording at the time. I was testing out the deck. He was a viewer, and I actually attacked with Wild Edge, and I destroyed like every monster on the field, and I continued to attack with Shining Flare Wing and his 5 points directly. I'm not sure if the viewer remembers that, but that did happen, and that was like awesome pretty much. It was awesome when I was testing it. So Wild Edge is good in my book. If you don't like Wild Edge, I guess that's your loss. You can also go with Plasma Vice since you're gonna have Blade Edge if you're using my deck. Of course, there's a couple more, you know, Elemental Heroes, Elemental Hero Neos, Elemental Hero Bersentrix, Avion, Bubbleman, stuff like that. I don't use those cards. I used to use Avion and Bersentrix, but I haven't used them in a while now, so that's just my standard. This is what I like, and that's what I'm gonna stick with. Alright, so if you guys got any suggestions for any other decks, leave me in the comments below, because I've been, you know, playing, making decks for you guys. And you guys have been satisfied so far. You guys have been, you know, giving me positive feedback, which I like. So I want to continue doing it for you guys. So go ahead and suggest me decks. Hopefully you guys also like my audio better now, because on the last video I didn't have my pop filter. I didn't have my filter on. Now I do, so hopefully I sound a little bit better for you guys. Hopefully. And I should be using this mic from now on, because this other one is dying. It's not dead yet. It's probably going to be my backup just in case if this dies on me, which I really doubt, but you never know. Anyways, when we come back next time, we will play, I guess, some Blackwings, because that's all I've been suggested. So right now someone suggested that I go back to Blackwings because it's my favorite, and they want to see more of my Blackwings. So we'll be back in a little bit, guys. See ya.